Sawubona nina bonke. Neblogo nendogu ngiyakhuluma mina umlando kwaSezolo. I was saying, kind people, a hearty greeting, and with my shorts and my stick, I speak about some of the lessons of yesteryear. You know, I've spent much of my life preoccupied with one day in South African history, that being Wednesday, the 22nd of January, 1879, where two remarkable battles took place in the northern region of KwaZulu-Natal, one being the Battle of Isandlwana, the other being the Battle of Rookstrift. Rookstrift is singularly remarkable because it saw the award of more Victoria Crosses than any other single action in history, including both world wars. And one of the men who earned a Victoria Cross that day was a young man called Alfred Henry Hook. He was regarded by all as Hook the Cook because he did the cooking for B Company, who were left based at Rookstrift. 28 years of age he was. And when they heard that the Zulus were going to attack Rookstrift, he volunteered to help defend the sick and the injured in a hospital building. I want you to imagine them in steel-shod boots and blue woolen trousers and red serge tunics buttoned up to the neck, with a Martini and a rifle and a 22-inch lung-socket bayonet. And Hook said, when they barricaded the doorway of my little room, I was pinned like a rat in a hole. Like rats in a hole. During the course of the fight, the Zulus set the hospital roof on fire, forcing the British to begin to dig literally for their lives through the walls of the hospital. Room by room by room, they dug. Henry Hook was regarded as a powerful man, and he was helping to put sick and injured through the holes dug in the walls. During the course of the fight, he was stabbed in the head, above the right eye, an injury that would affect his memory for the rest of his life. And when they got to the end of the hospital building, they saw with horror that their comrades had already been pushed back 40 yards to behind a line of biscuit boxes in front of the store. And do you know that Hook called for volunteers to come and help them evacuate the sick from the burning loft of that desperate hospital building? Hook, when he eventually left the hospital, said, I guess it was about 9:30 that night, and for 4 desperate hours, they'd fought tooth and nail for their lives in that hospital. He was awarded a Victoria Cross. He returned to England, an illiterate man, to find that his wife had assumed him dead, sold everything they owned, including their home, and took up with someone else. It was only after the government intervened on his behalf that he was given a job as janitor in the British Museum. In my opinion, a sanitized word for a toilet cleaner. He developed dreadful headaches and a big bony lump on the top of his head from the assegai thrust, but he died eventually of tuberculosis on the 12th of March, 1905. And when he died, his comrades took him back to Churcham, where he'd been born and raised in Gloucestershire, for burial. And at the base of his grave is a little inscription, I think put there because of the way he was treated after the war. And those lovely words read, if one's time has come to die, one should die manfully for one's brethren's sake, without cause for reproach against one's glory. If one's time has come to die, one should die manfully for one's brethren's sake, without cause for reproach against one's glory. Now, there are tremendous lessons that extrapolate from these remarkable stories of yesteryear. But the one I'd like to leave you with a little 3-minute story this morning, is, are you leading your life in such a way that you would like your final resting place marked with an inscription like that, that remembers the life and times of Alfred Henry Hook, the cook from Rookstrift? Thank you all very much.